Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are live right here on the world's most dangerous podcast, Straight Shooting with Stevie Ray. And my special guest tonight is pro wrestling extraordinaire, Mr. Ricky Santana, who will be on shortly. But I got a few things to talk about tonight. We are live on YouTube for the first time. This is our test night. We're going to test it, go back and look at it and see exactly how it comes out, For all you guys out there that's following on Twitch, hey, it is what it is. But we are live on YouTube tonight. This is our first night. And tonight, like I said, we got an old friend of mine, Mr. Ricky Santana. He's going to be on with us in a couple of minutes here. I was making sure I had everything set up. I got a few people calling me about where can they find the channel, this, that, and the other. I put it out there for a few people. But, the thing is, man, I'm still working on the channel, getting it branded, so on and so forth. I'm letting a few people know, you guys that are watching on Facebook right now, hey, it's a work in progress, but I promise you, within the week, I'm going to have everything done. But tonight is like a test night. And my man, Ricky Santana, agreed to be the test pilot. He's like Chuck Yeager. He's going to take it up. He's going to make sure that it can fly. He's going to make sure that it can land. He's going to make sure that we are on the right path to, hey, bigger and better things on the world's most dangerous podcast. And you know why we call it dangerous? Because we're dangerous. And we only want dangerous people on the show. And if they're not dangerous, hey, they're stepping into it. And y'all know how we do it at the end of the day. And I got a few people. What's up, John? What's up, Lewis? You guys go over to the Twitch channel. The Twitch channel is still on. I'm on live on Twitch and I'm on Facebook at the same time, man. So, hey, this is the station that's dangerous. This is the station where champions know champions and game knows game. Other than that, you don't get to come on this show. But tomorrow night, I got a big announcement. Tomorrow night, former WWE champion JBL will be gracing our channels again. And we'll be live on YouTube again. And we're live on Twitch. Go to Stevie Ray TV and we're going to chop it up. Y'all know how we do it over here. So without further ado, we're going to get the man on. One of my buddies that I go back way when I first got to WCW, man. He was always good to me, always cool to me, always willing to lend a hand and give him advice for a guy trying to make it in the business. And we're going to bring him on right now. There he is, Mr. Ricky Santana. What is going on, my man?
Oh, my man, it's good to see you, man. And I'm glad for your show. It is about being a straight shooter out here. Some people don't want to hear some things. And, sometimes they do want to hear some things. So, there's some things to learn. There's some things they maybe don't want to learn. But
hey, bro, what can you do, man?
Excuse me?
I said, then what can you do? When that arises, what can you do, bro?
Yeah, you just got to throw it out there, man. There's an old saying my dad used to say, God rest his soul. He said, son, only two things that hurts. One is the truth, and the other is the truth. And that's it, man. That's the only two things that hurt. So if you don't want to hear the truth, then don't do it, son.
My boy Hollywood just said, hey, Ricky. Queen just said, looking good on YouTube. Appreciate everybody out there looking out for your boy. But I'm going to make it better. That's why we're doing what we're doing. But Ricky, man, you're looking great, man. I see the Christmas tree in the background.
Yeah.
I follow you on social media, man. And you're out there doing big things in the community, man. You're out there representing the Cuban community also down there in the Florida area, man. And tell us what's up with you right now, man. You're all over the place, and you and Cube still in the ring. Yeah. I see y'all still get in the ring every now and then. What the heck is going on with you?
Yeah, we're trying to keep up with that record of so many decades. I mean,
right.
We were in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000, 2010. We did one in 2020. We're just going out there. And a lot of times when we step into that ring, it's to raise money for a good cause.
Right. Me too.
We had our time and everything else. We're not trying to live in the past. We're just trying to pass it on to the young generation, man. That's what I'm all about. I help out a lot of the people down here in Florida, especially off of the Wild Samoan and WXW. I still train at the school that trained me at Malenko School, so I get talent there. And I help Alex Porto with his Pro Wrestling 2.0, and got something else working in the plans with the old Florida Championship.
Oh, okay.
That'll be coming up down the road. That'll be something to come back when I come back on your program to talk about, my friend.
Cool, man. And that's the thing, man. I'm trying to get a platform where we can try to showcase a bunch of this younger talent, because, my show, the way I'm putting it out there, me being from the wrestling world myself, but I'm trying to go across the whole spectrum of sports, pro wrestling being the vehicle that's getting me started into other things. And I really, really enjoy it. But man, I love talking to some of these young guys and seeing that fire that we used to have, Ricky, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
that love we still got with the fire, man. I don't know the fire.
Yeah.
But I love talking to these young guys, man. They so enthusiastic, and I look back and I go, man, that guy used to be me. That used to be me. When you eat, sleep, and breathe nothing but pro wrestling, man. So I love having these guys on and talking to them about, just their inspirations and what they want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And just like, when I broke into business, I was fortunate enough to work with some of the greatest talent there was when I was up and young and coming and everything else. But I listened to everything they said. I hung on every word because I wanted to be the best.
Yeah.
When I got in, I wasn't trying to be famous. I was just trying to be perfection at its finest in every style. Whether it was a Mexican style, whether it was a blood and guts style, whether it was a Japanese strong style, the German rounds, I just wanted to know every style and perfect my craft. That was the deal with me. I didn't stay too long in one area. I kept moving around.
Hey, man, they didn't give you a chance. Back in the days, man, we didn't have time to think about being famous, man. Like the guys today, man, they look at the business and, they want to be the next Hulk Hogan. And I ain't trying to tell nobody's dream, but brother, you got to crawl before you walk back then. And trying to get into the business back then, brother, they made sure you crawl before you walk.
Absolutely. It was like the mafia.
Yeah.
If you didn't know nobody, you weren't even getting close. That's why they had territories, and nobody invaded anybody else's territory. That was taboo. I remember when I was get my first push, Jerry Briscoe had me on the phone, call me at 3 o'clock, not 2:59, but not 3:01, 3 o'clock. Someone answered the phone, and then I had to call Chavo Sr., and that's the way it was. You had to know somebody.
Man, it's funny, man, how things have changed. I'm 30-something years later. How things have changed, man. And you look back on the day and go, man, boy, you just had to keep. Can you imagine some of the attitudes that we see, the disrespectful, not all guys, it's a bunch of other guys that really respect the gizzard, but there are a few guys that really just don't get it and open your mouth when you don't support. Imagine what would have happened to those guys back in the day, man.
I'll tell you.
I hate to think about it.
I was in San Antonio, and Harley Race was in, and this young kid, it's TV, and Harley's been there, and it was, you knew what you had to do if you were in there with the champ, right?
Was that Lothario and them? Was that Jose and them?
That was Blanchard's dad's territory that he sold.
Joe.
Yeah, Joe Blanchard down in San Antonio.
Yeah, okay.
And this young kid comes in and he goes, "Hey, Harley," and Harley's sitting there, boots halfway laced up in his drawers and smoking a cigarette, and he says, "Listen, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And I'm just watching going, cool, right? And Harley looks up at him and he goes, "Can you listen?" "Yeah, I can listen." "Do you know my finish?" "Yeah." "Good. I'll see you out there, kid." And that was the discussion. There was nothing else to do with it, and the same thing happened to me in the sense, but I wasn't, telling the veteran what I knew. Bob Orton Jr., when he was getting the big push with Roddy in the beginning, Chief put me down in my hometown of Miami, and Orton, I was working with Orton, and Chief comes in there and he says, "Hey, Bobby, you're working with the kid, he's pretty good, take care of him. It's his hometown, some of the planes are running late. I need about 8 to 10. which was like unbelievable, right? With
Right.
10 matches on the card, right? And he goes, okay, and he's reading a book, right? And I go, Bobby, anything special I need to know? He looked up at me and he goes, you know my finish? I go, yeah, superplex from the top. You got a problem with it? No. I'll see you out there, kid. That's what it was, right? So I go out there and he calls his spot, that's another lost start. He called it in the middle of the ring. He backed me in the corner. He says, I'm going to nail you one. On the second one, you move, kid. Here it comes. I come feeding out. You hip toss me, drop kick me, arm drag me, drop kick me again. I'll open up. You go hit the rope. You're going to do a dive. I'm going to go around the post, and we're going to start off. Ready, go. And that's how it went, So just called it. And I, did what I had to do because that's how I was trained, right?
Right.
And he goes, yeah, Chief was right. You could go. So I go to get back in the ring. And he cuts me off. Snapmare grabs a rear chin lock. And I hear those infamous words, boring. And I panic, right? I'm panicking. I'm trying to make it. And I go, Bobby, what are we doing? And Bobby looked and goes, boring. I'll show you boring. And he leaned down and said, kid, we ain't moving for 10 minutes.
Oh, man.
And we didn't.
Wow.
We're chilling up to 10, and he had me move my foot a little bit. Come on up, pull me down, move up, pull me down, pull me down. He goes, you feel it, kid? Can you hear that, kid? Can you hear it? You ready? You ready? I think, nah, yeah. Let's go. They're ready now. You better make one hell of a comeback. Just do it. Boom, 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 boom. He says, go to the top. We're going home. And I went to the top. He cut me off superplex, and we went about 14 minutes.
Wow.
We get to the back, and the Chief's standing there. Chief, right? And
Yeah.
Bobby, what are you doing? He said, Chief, make up your mind. You told me to take care of the kid. It's his hometown, so I gave him a little extra. What's the problem? The Chief walks out, and I'm like, thank you, Bobby. So when I see him everywhere, at the CAC or wherever,
Right.
he calls me kid. And I go, Bobby, you still call me kid? I'm in my 60s. He goes, still a kid to me, kid. But that's the kind of relationship we had, back then.
Oh yeah, man. Man.
It's crazy.
I do the same thing with a bunch of the guys that used to come up and the enhancement guys with WCW back in the day. I still call them kids, man. They're in their 50s, and I'm like, remember when you kids did? I'm like, kids, these dudes got gray beards like me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, but it's a respect thing, I guess. It was
absolutely.
And so many of those guys made me and my brother look good, man. And speaking of the CHC, man, you guys got inducted in the Cauliflower Hall of Fame thing, man. What an honor, brother. And hey, man, I'm the happiest guy in the world. You know what I'm saying? When I saw it, man, because you guys were there when we got inducted, man. How was that whole experience for you, bro?
Well, for me, if you get that type of award from your peers, and everybody in that community, it's special to the individuals. Like when you guys were for the tag team and everything. The only thing was, with this COVID and stuff, we didn't really get to have the ceremony. And
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. They called me, and I wanted to go out, but the COVID thing had just started, like in March. And the cauliflower thing is like April, right?
Yep, it's in April.
Yeah, and I was like, man, I wanted to go because I talked to my brother. Me and my brother, we talked about it, and we was like, no, man, I can't go back because I didn't know if they were gonna still have it.
No,
I thought they were gonna cancel it.
Yeah, they moved it back to September, and then they moved it back again. So the class of 2020 is going to be what's going on in 2021. Hopefully, all the COVID will be gone by then. And there was a lot of people on there, that were going in there. But for me, the honor was, like I said, to be judged by your peers. But I still tell people that the CAC, when you guys got inducted and you said what you said about me and Cuban,
that's from the heart, man. That's from the heart.
And I look at it and I go, man, it's a shoot, but it's the way it was said at the particular time when, the whole clique was there and everything else, it was like.
That's from the heart, man. My brothers talk about that all the time, man. They say, man, Ricky and them, they done did everything they could to get us over, man. I mean, I'm like, they done been under hoods. They done been this. They done been, And we was just thinking about that one day and go, damn, man, how many times did they help get us over, man? We hadn't even, we thought we were sitting there thinking like, golly, man, we didn't realize it, until that came up and we were just shooting the crap and it was like, golly, we had forgotten. So that's why when we came and we saw y'all, we didn't even know y'all was gonna be there.
Yeah, we
didn't even know y'all was gonna be there. It was like we were just talking about them. You know what I'm saying? We were just before we saw you. We were just talking about Cuban Ricky, putting us over, man, and helping us out, man. And hey, man, I'll never forget anybody that's ever done anything to help me in my career, any kind of endeavors that I embarked on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the way it should be, man. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody makes it on their own, man. Somebody's got to help you, bro.
Yeah.
But hey, hold on 1 second. Hold that thought, Ricky. Everybody out there on Facebook right now, I'm talking to the great Ricky Santana. And he's giving us some of his wisdom and stories about professional wrestling. So if you guys want to hear any of this, go to the YouTube channel, go to the Twitch channel, Stevie Ray TV, and you can hear the rest of the show. It's live tonight, and it's only going to be live tonight. The rest of it, I'll take the best clip I got of Ricky. He's got a nice suit on. He's got a nice Christmas tree in the background. And you'll see about 3 minutes of it on the YouTube station, brother. But you guys go do that, and I appreciate you tagging along for a minute. You too, Noah. I'll holler at you later. Peace. Okay, Rick, sorry about that, but I always got to give the people a few minutes with Facebook to let them know what's going on the channels, man. But go ahead, finish that stuff.
I look at this and I remember we were at center stage and we were going back to the dungeon and you guys were starting out and you were trying to find that mix. And you said to me words that they hit home for me because I had been in those shoes at one point in time. Like I think everybody, whoever had a dream of making it in the business. And you said, you know what, Rick, I think me and my brother are just going to go back to Houston because I don't think this is going to work out. And I said, you got to trust me on this one because, Kevin Sullivan had lived with me. Right. I knew where the game plan was going. I just wasn't at liberty to say, they're going to make Harlem Heat and they're going to put Sherry Martel, because then I just get me beat with the office and then I'd be, what are you doing? Talk about it. I didn't do it. I just said, come on, give it 2 weeks, bro, because I know. I said, please trust me, just 2 weeks. I remember he said, all right, man. And then the rest is history.
Man.
You guys exploding. And with all that, I don't know, maybe Kevin got wind of it because we were out there and that Harlem hangover. Oh, Lord.
Well, if he got wind of it, it didn't come from us, man. It didn't come from us.
It was like, okay. But hey, I was used to that, over the years.
Right.
Another thing, Rick Steiner, right? Everybody knows Rick, right?
Right.
Straight out of the University of Michigan. I mean, straight. He was jacked. His shoulders looked like bowling balls.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, man.
Yeah. Dusty, God rest his soul, gave me my first big break. I had a lot of respect for the Dream. Growing up as a kid, he was my man. Him and Jack Briscoe, those were my two guys, right? And he put me with Rick every night for 30 days, 20 minutes through.
Oh, wow.
And you talk about a clubbering. Oh, my Lord. Rick could hit you so hard he'd laugh. But he never complained when you waffled him back. I mean, but it was lots being thrown.
30 days?
He loved it. It was like, yeah. And then it was the end of WCW, and I was an agent and everything. And he had a match with Conan, and he got rough with Conan, and Conan come back, mumbling and grumbling, boom, boom, boom. And Rick comes through the curtain. He goes, Ricky, question. Yeah, buddy. How many times did we work? I go, way too many. He says, how many times did I hit you? I go, every time. And he goes, and you hit me back, right? I go, yeah, I had to hit you back. It was self-defense. And he said, did you ever complain that I hit you? No. And I didn't complain when you hit me. What's wrong with this business? And he walked by, and I was just like, I don't know, bro.
Well, Conan them from south of the border, man. Nobody throws punches. And big, nobody's heavy.
Nobody's heavy. And that's all he knew.
It's all finesse. So nobody's heavy. Well, hey, try working the program for a year and a half.
Yeah.
What about that?
That makes it even tougher, right?
With his brother. Try working that program for a year and a half.
Yeah.
At about 300 days a year.
Yeah. Well, the 30 days, the 20-minute Broadway every night, that was good enough for me. But I groomed him. I guess I got him ready for you.
Yeah, by the time he came to me, I think you had cooled him off a little bit, man.
Oh,
but the Steiners they work snug, man. That's their style.
That is
and then you go from a style like that to the Nasty Boys. They don't really work snug. I'm trying to find a word for the way they work. But it's difficult.
It's strong style. It's unique. It's a unique style because it's a mixture of it's in between snug and stiff. Yeah, that's how.
If it's something in between that, it's that.
It's in there. That's their style. But
oh my goodness, that's like 3 years. That's like 3 years right there with those 4 guys, man, that I love to death, man. But man, that's the thing, man. Coming up down here in Texas, brother, everybody works stiff. The veterans.
Oh yeah.
So it's like getting you ready for a prize fight, bro. It's like getting you. When my brother got to WCW, it was like, man, this is okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is okay. It's like the Rocky movie where Rocky's trying to kill himself to get ready for the Russian.
Yeah.
He's ready to die in the ring that night. You know what I'm saying? So, but he had to go through hell. But it's like, me and my brother going through that kind of training, but we got like Apollo Creed, who just like to jab, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can do this every night,
Yeah, exactly. But some of those that you run into from the days when I was in there and starting, I worked with Brody in San Antonio.
Right. Brody, how was Brody? Tell us about that.
He was, you knew what you were getting into. You knew his style. It was, it was kind of like not really unorthodox style, but he would come at you and you knew it. It's like, okay, you've been in the ring with Regal, right? And he kicks you in the head like you owe money or something, but you know it. It's nothing like it's different, right? You go to Japan and you work over there, and then that's the only style they know.
Your boy Manny Fernandez took us over there with him.
I know.
No, man, because me and my brother used to work Manny a lot.
Yeah.
And Manny is a teacher. He's like a drill sergeant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether you're working with him, he just won't, man, that dude, I love him to death, man. That's my boy. I got the utmost respect for that man. And Manny used to drill. Look, I told you guys this. You know how he talks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look, I told you guys this. Yeah. You guys going out there doing it. Stop that bullshit. I want you to do it. And I'm like, okay, dog. You know what I'm saying? I know you're a Vietnam vet, but don't have a flashback on me right here in Saigon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know we're in Japan, and some of these people might look like the Viet Cong.
Yeah, but he was. I remember my first tour to Japan. Right, the Funks got me booked. Right, it was the World Tag Team Tour. You had everybody and anybody that was there, and I was new guy on the tour. Mm-hmm. They're gonna look and they're gonna watch, and they put me with a young boy, and they put me with the gentleman that handed out the advances.
Yeah.
So get in there.
One thing about Japan, the money was always right.
Always right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, they had already gotten in my head. Okay. They're going to try to shoot on you. They're going to test you. And I'm thinking, okay, I got to bring back all this amateur skills that I remember from school.
Right.
I'm mentally preparing myself. And then Dynamite Kid was on the tour. And Tommy walks out and goes, I'm letting you go out there and you just kick their fucking ass. You don't take no shit.
Who is this talking again?
Tommy, Dynamite Kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I said, okay. He said, no, you got to hear me, mate. If they know that you're weak, your ass is going to be the longest tour of your life. Don't do that. It's okay. So I go out there and I take care of myself, and I'm laying shit in. I mean, laying shit in, and he comes back. He goes, "Oh, mate, that was beautiful. You look like you knocked his dick in the dirt. That's good. They're going to respect it." And it was a learning skill that you had to know that. But man,
hey, but let me tell you something, Ricky. That is the very thing I'm talking about with Manny. Man, my brother was out there working. You dig what I'm saying? We're working.
We were
okay.
Working. Yeah.
And Manny kept telling us, no. Okay. Finally, we got it. One night. True story. Now, I'm not trying to take your time up. Everybody want to know the Ricky Santana stories, but I got to throw this one in.
Shoot.
This before I ever got in the ring with you and Q. Okay, this was years before that. Maybe about 3 years before that. Okay. We over there for Kendo, Nagasaki, the Black Ninja.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
And, I didn't know nothing. Like, matter of fact, me and Sonny Ono last night, I do a show with Sonny every Tuesday night. And I was telling him about my first tour over there. And he was asking me about the Yakuza and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, I didn't know nothing about that. I got schooled over there. Okay. I didn't know nothing about that. But anyway, those guys were sponsoring the tour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, absolutely. What you was looking at the greenest dude. I'm like one of Santa. The grits that's though. I'm that green. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I got what? 2 years, 2.5 years in the business, something like that. But anyway, man, it was on our ass, man. Do this, don't do that, blah, 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 blah. So finally one night, Japanese cat come up to me and go, oh, I'm kind of tired. You take it easy tonight. Okay, cool. All right. We get in the ring. This guy goes behind me, back suplex me, didn't call it, didn't nothing.
No, just you're going.
Wham! That quick. Everything Manny Fernandez had been telling us for 6-7 days, I could hear every word in my head at that point. After I hit the mat and bounced off that hard-ass mat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at my brother like, did you see what this sucker just did to me, bro?
Oh, tell me he just didn't do it.
And my brother looked at it like this. Because he already knew I was pissed off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
He already knew. Bruh, okay, it's on now. It's on like neck bones now.
Yeah.
So I get up, we go through our do-si-do and whatever we call it. I shoot him into the ropes. And I'm telling you, Ricky, I'm attesting this tonight. I've never tried to hurt anybody in the ring in my life. Except for this night. Because I was that pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
I hit the guy so hard with a clothesline, I broke his collarbone. Yes. And then my brother jumps out of the ring and starts stomping the dog shit out of him. You know, his partner comes over. We go off on him. Okay, this how it is in Japan. I ain't coming 10,000 miles from Texas to get beat up by no Japanese dude, dog. I'm telling you that right now. I get beat up at home. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't going 10,000 miles. So the next night, they changed it up from those two guys to two other guys. These guys get stiff again. We go over, remember the heat bomb when I do the power bomb, and my brother would come off with the elbow on the guy, but with all finesse though, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, I usually just let the guy come down and just carry myself with him. Not tonight. Mm-hmm. I picked him up, see my hands? Like that. And correct.
Oh, boom.
Boom. And my brother came down, I'm talking about as hard as he could with the elbow. Bam. I mean, late in, the guy was out. He was snoring, snot coming out of his nose. His partner jumps in. We kicked the shit out of him. So then Kendo wouldn't put us together anymore. He wouldn't put us together anymore as a tag team. They stopped me. So Kendo takes on my brother. He's gonna, and I told my brother, hey, look, dog. He's like, my brother, like, hey, I know what he's gonna try to do, man. He's gonna try to get his revenge for his boys. I said, yeah, he's gonna try to. I said, but I got your back, dog. You know what I'm saying? But then I started thinking about, wait a minute, man, what about that 800 a week? I'm like, wait a minute, dog. You know, don't mess things up for that 800 a week. We got the per diem, we ain't got the payoff yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My brother goes out, he jumps Kendo, still, because Manny had been telling us, that's the way I want y'all to do it. That's the way I want y'all to do it, like a coach.
Yeah.
My brother jumps on Kendo and starts throwing him out the ring, throw him in the people. You know, in Japan, they like that. When you throw him in the people and all this stuff. I'm screaming, brother, we ain't got the payoff. Stop, we ain't got the payoff.
Get paid first.
I gotta get the money. Oh my goodness, man. But that was Japan, man. I'll never forget it, man. We had a good time, but man, them dudes can get stupid, brother. Why didn't you tell me that, Ricky?
I didn't know you on your first tour. I was smarting you up like they smarted me up on my first tour.
Well, I really needed the Dynamite Kid at the time. But Manny was telling us, but me and my brother was too hard-headed because we was respectful.
Yeah.
You know, we trying to be respectful. All that went out the window. And I'm glad I got an education, bro. I got an education in the business. You know?
Real quick, like.
Huh?
I loved going, and I went constantly.
Hey,
the last tour I had, one of the last matches, and both of them are no longer with us, but it was a 6-man. Me, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Gary Albright. I mean, you know, I had 2 NCAA shooters, so I mean, I had backup, but you know, we're working with guys that knew how to work in Japan.
Oh yeah, that Japan thing is a whole other part. And you know something? We get ready to go back. We're going back for our second tour.
Right.
Guess what Kendo does?
That's a guarantee.
No, man. He brings Bradshaw, JBL, instead of me. Because now the tour is going to Korea. Also.
Oh, yeah. I've done that one too.
Yeah. So my brother comes like, yeah, me and Bradshaw tag team. And I'm like, what? You're supposed to be with me. Then they come back. Then I get a ticket to go, but with no booker. Okay.
Okay.
Booker staying home, but I'm like, okay, they're going. Okay, we didn't hurt too many people together, so they're gonna bring us by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But it was what an experience, man. Man, let me ask you something, man. Ricky, I know you from the WCW days, man. That's why I first saw you, and that's why I first met you. But I was a big fan, and I think I've told you this in the dressing room a few times. I loved when you were in WCW and you would come out as Ricky Santana. You had the suit on, man.
Oh yeah. That was the Dusty deal, baby.
I loved it, man. I said, look at this dude, man. You know, I kind of like his style. You know, they get up there and do the interview and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to blah, 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 you know, blah, blah, blah. I said, man, the dude is cool. Then when I met you, I think I mentioned that to you. I was like, where does suit come from, man?
Yeah.
How were those days, man, for you in WCW at that time?
You know, it was getting ready to come over from the NWA to WCW. Right. And, you know, Dusty was very influential and instrumental in all of that, giving me that push and, you know, being, you know, against Arn and Tully, and then eventually on the NWA Pro show against Flair, going 5 out of 6 segments.
Right.
For me, it was progression to better myself, to be even considered to be in that type of spot. There was a lot of guys in there that fell into that category. You know, Brad Armstrong, for example. You know, God rest his soul, but with anybody or anything. Tracy Smothers, another guy. Work with anybody, and then the guys that were enhancement, like George South. I mean, they would make you look like $1 million. Mike Jackson, all these guys were great at it.
Yes.
And you know, and then you had the cream of the crop there from the NWA. You know, you had Barry Windham, you had Michael Thunder, you had, you know, Zbyszko as a Western State champion. You had people that you could you could work with, and forget about the tag team aspect, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, the Fantastics. You had them all.
It was stacked, man.
It was like everybody from beginning to end could work, could cut a promo. So you knew. I mean, I still remember we were on the Loop and we were in Richmond. Richmond. And we were heading to Atlanta on Sunday to be for the big show in the Omni.
Right.
I'm standing at the door, and this was a natural $100,000 house. Now you got to remember, back then ticket prices $10-15.
Right, exactly.
The $100,000 house, and I'm looking at the house, and I'm in my head thinking, because we got paid on the house, there wasn't no guaranteed money.
Right.
Wherever you were on the card is where you were making your money.
Exactly.
Okay, here I am. We had $100,000 here. We had Greensboro. We had Norfolk. Boom, boom. I said, it's gonna be a great week, right? And I go, Kevin, this is like the $600,000 house. It's gonna be a great week. Don't get used to it, kid. So what? He goes, Dad, don't get used to it. This business is going to become a TV business. I looked at him and I said, you're out of your mind. You see the houses? Everywhere we go. I don't care what town it is. You could go to Greenville, South Carolina, and it's packed to the rafters at the township. Right. It was packing everywhere. He goes, it's going to be a TV. So every time I see Kevin, I was going, Kevin, remember what you told me it was going to be? Yeah, kid, I could see it. I saw that. And I said, yeah, I saw it develop.
Right.
Because we started to have the Sunday program, the main event, and we were working with me and Cuban were working with the sheepherders back then, but and you could see it coming. And sometimes the change in the business that you see coming, you can see it, but until you actually live through it, you say, damn. So I remember having a conversation when agent for WWE, and we were joking around, and it was me and Arn, and we were talking about Mid-South, which was Watson's territory. And I said, yeah, I was on a $3,000 a week guarantee. Arn looked at me, what? You were making $3,000 a week for Watts? I go, nah, 3,000 miles is what you got guaranteed. Because that territory was like,
Yeah, Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, right?
Yeah, and Mississippi. It was crazy.
Wow, man.
Well, even the Texas territories, you had to drive forever to get someplace.
Well, hell, that's 4 states right there.
Yeah, it was brutal.
That's 4 states, especially if you're going from, let's say down here in Houston, and have to go all the way up to, I don't know, into the
go to St. Louis.
Central parts of Texas. That's man.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. And then the topic when we went to the Crockett's, me and Cuban went to the Crockett's. That was North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Virginia, and Ohio.
Wow.
And there was cruise.
I didn't know Ohio was in there.
Yeah, they would go into Columbus and do those towns at the Georgia office.
No wonder we were still doing those towns.
Yeah.
We used to always go do those same towns with WCW.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was crazy. I mean, there was A, B, and C, and you wanted to be on the A and B. A flew everywhere. B flew and had, some of the smaller towns, but C, you drove everywhere. I called it the Ville run.
Right.
You have Greenville, Charlottesville, Asheville, and there were smaller towns up in the mountains, and you'd be, and had to drop back to Charlotte.
What about Bluefield?
Bluefield, West Virginia. I just said back to Charlotte. Brutal.
Man, something? As many towns as I've gone to, I'm not one of those guys like yourself or like Rick Rude. Rick Rude could always remember so much stuff. God rest his soul. We used to tell us all these stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you remember back in the day, you might have been in the office back then. I can't remember. They had an A team and a B team. And the B team did all the shit towns, and the A team did all the big towns. You know what I'm saying? The B team was the guy that was thinking about maybe using you maybe one day or something like that. But get your ass out on that road, eat some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and hopefully you get home safe.
Yeah, exactly. I remember we were going to Bluefield. You speak about Bluefield, and we
Right. Oh, that's what I just want to talk about. Go ahead.
yeah, we come across that West Virginia line, and a big ass snowstorm hits, and it's me, Chris Champion, God rest his soul, and the Mighty Wilbur. We're in my Camaro. I don't have any snow tires. I don't have no chains. We come off the city center, and this looks like a postcard, white. And we got to go up the hill because, you know, Bluefield's up in the mountain. So as I'm starting to go up, I hear right back, and the car gets stuck. So now we got to go up to the tunnel to use the phone to come get the tow truck to come get me out. Right? It was just like I get back and I put the hazards on. All you can see was one corner of the blinker. It was snowing so bad. So I called the building from the convenience store, right. And I say to Johnny Weir, I said, "Man, I know the show starts at 7 and it's 7:30, and I ain't to the building because I'm stuck at the bottom of the mountain." He goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. Everybody's stuck because of the snow. Just get up here. We're going to start the show late." So I get towed out, and I try to go up. I can't get up the mountain because I got no chains, no traction. Right? So I come back down, and I said, it's 8 o'clock. I'm sure they're halfway through the show. I'm going to head back to Charlotte. "Oh, no, we haven't even started. Don't worry, I'll send somebody down to get you." Well, this guy comes down in this truck. So we get into the truck, and he's shifting gears, going up the mountain, and I said, "That's great, man. That's what we need. We need 4-wheel drive to get up this mountain." He goes, "This ain't 4-wheel drive. This is 2-wheel drive." I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, you just don't know how to drive." See, my job is to find skiers that break down in the mountain, so I know every road back here and how to get around and get to where I got to go. I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "So after the show, can you help me back out to the interstate? Because I know they'll salt it by then, because I ain't never going to make it down this mountain with no tires that are no." But I still remember that because the Mighty Wilbur, who weighed about 300 pounds, was coming down the side of the mountain to go to the car, and he took a bump, and he was rolling down the mountain. And me and Chris Champion were dying because he was going, yeah. And next to the car. I said, "Well, that's a hell of a way to get down there before that road." I was trying to get embankment to the car. I felt so bad for him, man. But I said, "You all right, Wilbur?" "Yeah, I'm okay. Let me push me off and put him back in the car." But it was shit like that made the boys, right?
Oh, my God. Oh, brother, that's hilarious. I was wondering if anybody had slipped in the snow, man.
Yeah, he did. He rolled. I mean, like it was.
Man, you know, we never was up there when it was raining. I'm sorry, snowing. But man, I remember the first time I drove up in the mountains. And I'm like, wait a minute, brother, I've seen this on TV where you can look off the side of a mountain.
And they ain't nothing.
And the road, you know, and you doing this and you don't even know it. I'm like, I'm from Texas, man. Everything's flat. Okay? You can't see nothing. Ain't no bridges unless it's going over some water or something like that. Dog, that blew my, and I'm driving because my brother Nick Patrick went all over this country together. Okay?
Yep.
I had to do 95.9% of the driving for those two. So I ain't got to tell you what they doing. Okay. So, amongst other things. Okay. Yeah. I ain't got to do all the driving because I'm Mr. Straight. You know that. So be that as it may. And plus, I'm just one of them guys that don't trust other people driving. I'm just that guy. I don't like riding with guys unless I have to. I used to ride with Black Bart.
I loved working with Bart. "Hey, referee gonna kill you, boy." He made me laugh sometimes. Quit laughing. Bart.
Oh, bro. You just made me, I forgot my train of thought. You sound just like him.
Yeah.
You sound just like him.
Crazy.
Oh God, man, my stomach hurting, bro. You got my stomach hurting now, man. I forgot what I was gonna say now.
Speaking of,
What was I saying?
what you were talking about that you would travel around, you would always.
Oh yeah, with my brother Nick.
Yeah, except for
Oh,
Bart.
so but going in those mountains, like I said, I don't like for other people to drive. Going in those mountains, man, that was crazy. And we went to Bluefield, West Virginia. Never forget this, man. Went to Bluefield, West Virginia on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
And it's nothing in this town. It's nothing in this town. This is West Virginia. And there are a lot of people that look like me. You know what I'm saying? might be a couple that look like you, but it ain't none that look like me. You know what I'm saying? He might look like you, but he probably something else. You know what I'm saying? So the local bar to do something, have a good time, was at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Where we were staying. They had like a little bar downstairs, and that's where everybody in town came to have a good time. I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. This is crazy. Of all the places I've been in my life, just like yourself, all over the world, I never imagined that I would have a good time in Bluefield, West Virginia. I had a great time, bro. And that's one of the few. I was telling you, I can't remember things like you, towns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I remember Bluefield, West Virginia like it was yesterday, man. We all had a great time.
Sometimes that happens. And you're speaking about Black Bart. You remember when WCW had the 3-ring battle royal when worlds collide and everything?
Yeah.
Right. So we were there, and it was myself, Cube, Barbarian, and Bart, and we were playing cards while we were waiting to catch an early flight going back. Barb going to Carolina, and him and Bart, and we're going back to Florida.
Right.
We were playing poker, and I had taken everybody's money. and I go, all right, guys, well, we're done because we got about an hour before we got to leave to go, and I want to pack my money. And Cube goes, nah, man, I got to get a chance to win my money back, right? So I said, all right, man, just give you the money. No, we're going to play. So we're playing, and we finished cleaning Bart out. Bart had $2 silver because he was that kind of country boy, right?
Right.
We always talked about John Wayne. John Wayne was the man to Black Bart. So I looked at it and I kicked Cube under the table and I go, John Wayne? I said, Bart, Gene Autry kicked John Wayne's ass every time. He says, don't you talk about John Wayne? Oh, boy, we had him so riled up. And he said, how am I going to spend it? My wife gives them so. I said, I don't know. Tell me you lost them in the poker. I can't tell I was playing poker. Shit, what's wrong with you, boy? Oh, we were dying, but we took all of one bar. We were out there for about 3 weeks. Because we had taken all the biggest silver dollars. Cube took his silver dollars. I did.
Come on, man. You took the dude silver dollars, man. Come on, bro.
He took them, buddy. He said, put them up. You got them in your wallet. I know you got them. Last man. Everything. We put everything in. We put everything in parts. Silver dollars. Oh, Lord.
Those silver dollars could have been for good luck.
Yeah, but there wasn't his luck that night, boy. All his money. We're going to try to play for his boots probably next.
Oh my God, man!
Great laughs from great guy.
Bart had moved to Houston, man, because his wife was working. They opened a new dog track here, the greyhounds race each other.
Yeah.
And stuff like that down in Texas City. I think you know what Texas City is, like going toward Galveston. I know you guys used to work down there when you came down here. So you hit Texas City right before you get to Galveston. So they built a new, and his wife was working, and so he moved here, and we was working in Global together. So we used to me, him, and my brother used to all ride together.
Right.
And brother, what an education him and Johnny Mantel gave me and my brother.
Oh, absolutely.
What an education that they gave me and my brother. But they got us over because we were babyface tag team back in those days.
Yeah. Was it G.I. Bro and Soul Bro?
No. Wait a minute, man. What?
I think I didn't know that, did you?
Wait a minute, dog. What? No, actually, we were Stevie Ray and Booker T. You know, for your information.
Yeah.
You know, the GI Bro thing and all that, and the Super Collider thing. That was before Global. Okay.
Okay.
That started in the late '80s.
Okay, that was
By the time the early '90s came, we were Stevie and Booker. Okay.
Okay. The Ebony Express or Experience.
Yeah, Ebony Experience.
Yes, I still remember.
Yeah. Okay. But man, we was getting the babyface push, and them two heels there, bro. They got more heat than a little bit. They got more heat than a little bit and taught us everything. You know, how baby faces are supposed to be. And bro, we owe so much to them, man, because we were so over because of those guys.
Yeah.
They put us over to the place was like, if we wasn't on the card, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Half of the building would show up. You know what I'm saying? It got that hot.
Yeah.
It got that hot. And then after them,
tango, bro. Takes two to tango. You gotta have two to go to dance, baby.
Oh man. Those guys were the heels, and that's why when we became heels, after working with Black Bart, Johnny Mantel, Cowboys, then working with Iceman, King Parsons, and Perry Saturn, a couple of brothers. You know how good Iceman was, man. And Perry was a hell of a worker too.
Oh, absolutely.
Then we started working with, get this, Killer Tim Brooks and Manny Fernandez.
Ooh, that's another history lesson.
Two bona fide killers.
Yeah.
Okay. That's when we really hit the top. Them jokers had so much heat, the fans jumped them one night.
Yeah, that's how it was.
The fans, somebody stuck in a pint, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Know all about that. I learned that in Texas real quick.
Huh?
I learned that in Texas real quick because I came in there as a heel, as the Hoods, you know, and I was that. And Al Madrid was there, and Lothario and Chavo Sr. and everything. And we did the big angle with Gory Guerrero, where they put him out on the ambulance and the stretcher and all that stuff. And all I can remember was Al telling me, watch your hands, watch your hands, watch your hands. Like, watch your hands. I'm watching this guy see if you watch your hands. And we're pushing me through, and we get inside of the locker room, and I go, Al, why are you telling me watch the hands, man? He goes, because they'll look at you and smile, and they'll cut you on the way by.
Yeah.
You're looking at the hands, you can see if they got a bottle, a knife, whatever it is they're going to cut you with, watch the hands. And I learned that real quick in Texas. Watch that.
Well, I didn't know the people got that crazy until some dude hit Killer Tim Brooks with a pint of, I guess he had a pint of whiskey. I guess he must have emptied it before.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna let this whiskey go to waste. You know, they sneak it in, you know what I'm saying? And they had him and Manny had jumped me and my brother. You know what I'm saying? They came down and we just got they boom, beating the crap out of we. We're selling, laying against the ropes, the whole gimmick, you know what I'm saying? And then the fans get so pissed. Well, you know, in Global, you didn't have no space between the fans and you know, if you worked in that sportatorium. We look up, me and my brother selling, we look up, somebody came to save us, I can't remember who it was. We look up, it's a fight going on at the top of that ramp. It's Manny and Tim Brooks. They fight, I'm talking about beating the dog shit out of some dude and cracked Tim over the head. God rest his soul, Tim was a good dude, man.
Yeah.
And Manny, you know, jumped on the dude, then Tim jumped, then the other guy jumped. I'm like, and we didn't have, I think we had one cop. I think that's the only thing they reported.
He was a rent-a-cop.
Oh my goodness. I was like, this is great. Me and my brother looked at each other like, should we be in this business, man? These people crazy, man. Yeah, because these are the same people less than a year earlier when me and my brother got our tryout match that called us every N-word, sucker, known to man. So
bunch of hypocrites, right?
That's Texas. That's Texas.
That's Texas, bro. I remember. I don't know. I'm sure you remember because we went in there with WCW to the Joe and Harry Friedman Coliseum, right in San Antonio. Right. It's a long walk from the dressing room to the ring, and there was this big Mexican guy that was there because we were in that building every 2 weeks.
Right.
He was there, and we were the tag champs, and we were working against Michaels and Diamond, Paul Diamond and Shawn Michaels. They were the American force. He mofo us everything and curse and blah, 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 blah. So we're walking to the ring, and Rosie was a Texas Ranger, big guy. And I said to my partner, Tony, I said, Tony, you know the big fat Mexican guy that sits at ringside? He goes, yep. He says, I bet you I can get him to jump the rail before they announce us as the tag champs. Tony goes, ain't no way in hell that's going to happen. I said, I guarantee you, if you do, all the beer's on you all week long. He said, you're on. I go, Rosie, get ready because this guy's coming. I'm telling you. So we're getting ready to walk up the steps, and I start. I go, hold on a second, Tony. Hold on. I walk over, and the guy's calling me an MF, SOBs. He's doing all that. And I said, listen, I want to thank you. He looked at me, what? I want to thank you because every 2 weeks you're right here ringside and you're a faithful fan. And he looked at me and I go, and why I'm so thankful? Because while you're here every 2 weeks, my brother's at your house taking care of your old lady. Boy, he was over the top. He was coming. Rosie's got him on the ground, putting the cuffs on him, snatching him. They introduce us as a tag champions, and I go, I prefer Coors Light right now. That's bullshit. I go, bro. That's how it was. They were crazy, bro. Oh, Lord.
That was the days, man. A lot of these young kids, man. Hey, man, I'm really behind them, and I know they love the game, but the game was so different back in the day, man, because the realism was still there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The kayfabe was still there.
Yeah.
And
it existed, but when I went to Puerto Rico, for the first time, whole new world. I mean, they would throw spark plugs.
Oh yeah,
with shit in them. We were going to the ring. Me and Cuban were going to the ring with his wife, Fantasy, right?
Yeah.
And they're slinging stuff, right? And I hear fly by me, and boom, Cube goes, God, what was that? Because his chin went. And I looked at her and I go, oh, strained banana. They had thrown the baby food jar and hit him. So me and his wife are cracking up, and he's going to start putting the ring. And all of a sudden, they're starting to throw ice. And overhead.
Yeah.
And she goes, if I get in with ice one more time, I'm leaving. Pink. What do I go? Go get her. She's in the finish. We got to have her. Come on. They were arguing. I'm doing this and doing that and doing this because it's flying. Oh, it was unbelievable back then. I mean, it was crazy. They were just insane.
Those are the great stories, man, that you and I can tell. That I've told some of the stories on my podcast before, and my other podcast that I used to have, and I've told a few stories on that too. But man, boy, so many things that you're saying tonight triggers. It triggers things.
Yeah,
in my because things have settled down a lot by the time me and my brother got to WCW. So we got a lot of heat, but a lot of the heat was kind of like after the match when it was over, when we cheated to win or something like that, and this, that, and the other. Like the first time we went to Sturgis, and we were working with the Steiners, and Rick was like, man, hey man, don't go out there and do that stuff that y'all do every night, man. These people are different, man. Yeah. And we were like, okay. Then me and my brother looked at each other in the dressing room and was like, nah, man, I mean, whatever, but we do what we do, whatever. Yeah. So we got to get some heat because a couple of matches that went down and nobody did. The thing was, this wasn't the conventional wrestling fans. Right. These were bikers that just happened to be at a wrestling show. So they don't even know who everybody is unless they're, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, they were good camera op and stuff like that because the ring was in the middle of all these motorcycles. So me and my brother's like, nah, man, we got to do what we do. This is what we do. We go out. We start talking about the guys on the bikes' wives because they were like, hey, man, the Hells Angels out there, man. Don't mess with these guys. Well, back then, I ain't know nothing about the Hells Angels. And I'm a biker, but I'm a black dude from Texas, man. I don't know nothing about no gun runners in California. I don't know nothing about that, dog. I'm totally ignorant to this biker world, bro. And we go out and we start telling everybody, you're on that bike with that ugly woman. That woman is toothless. And when I get through with them two white boys, I'm coming down there for you. We know the camera couldn't pick this up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, punk, get off that bike. Yeah, you want some? Come on. So they start revving their motorcycles. The whole thing started revving the motorcycles. And we're like, yeah, man, we get some good heat here. Neither of them know, hey, brother, they really mad at you. You know what I'm saying? They're working. We didn't know they really don't like you, bro. So we do the match and everything. And Sherry hit Rick or Scott with some powder. And then the Colonel was doing the thing with Sherry. Then he cracks one over the head with the cane. Me and my brother, how we gave him, 70% of the match. We do the 1, 2, 3. They start throwing all kind of stuff at us, bro. I mean, back then you had the real bottles.
Yeah.
This is before the plastic bottles. When you drink a beer,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is this? The security had to come out and get us and take us in the thing.
Yeah.
And they throwing rocks from the ground. And we like, hey, man, what's going on? Why y'all let them do? What's wrong with these people? Well, we didn't know.
Yeah.
They're not wrestling fans.
Yeah.
They're really angry motorcycle people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dog, that was the first. I was humbled. I said, let me go in this trailer. Somebody get me back to this trailer.
Yeah, that's all I want to do. Get me out of here now.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get out of the Dakotas or wherever we at. And I think we left and went to Wyoming. Okay, we get Wyoming. Okay, we're starting back down toward the bottom.
Yeah, I'm going to go back home.
Yeah. I want to get back in. I want to get as close to Texas as I can, man. People crazy. But that kind of heat right there, oh man, I miss it.
Yeah.
I miss it.
That was the kind of heat that was generated because of obviously the kayfabe still existed.
Yeah.
The psychology was different. The fan was different. We were in Austin, and we were working there, and Dale Veazey had the match before me, Tony, and Madrill when we were the tag champs, and there was a problem with one of the marks. And they're going back, and Al was talking shit to him, boom, 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 boom. And he comes to the door, and it was 2 double doors because the first door come through, there's a space, and then the second parking lot was inside the building, and so were the dressing rooms in this building in Austin. And we're waiting because we know we're coming out. As soon as we see Al come through the second set of doors, we'll start to make our way out to the ring. He comes through the second set of doors. He goes, he's coming, and he's live. And here comes this big-ass burly guy coming through, and I'm standing there. And Tony's around the backside of him, right? And I'm looking, and Al's looking at me, and I see Tony pick up the chair. And I just said, come on, big boy, come on. And I'm just keeping him walking toward me, and Tony whacks him with that.
Really?
Chair. Boom, he's on the ground, and we're putting the boots to him. I mean, just putting the dog shit out of him. Right?
Not better than the boys beating up Marks. Why do we have more footage of the boys beating up Marks? We gotta get some footage.
We're getting there, and I said, okay, let's go. Come on, we gotta go to the ring. The music's playing, and this guy gets up. He's got knots everywhere. He's bleeding. And Tony hits him again with another chair. We're back. We're just kicking him in the ribs and just, making sure we open the door and we throw him out before we come out. And the fans see this guy roll and he's bleeding.
Like a cowboy movie.
Like a cowboy movie. Flying and boom, boom. We get back to the back. Little did we know the state fair was next door and he was a carny. So now we're trying to leave the building, and there's 60 of them out there with bats. The 2 guys that beat the shit out of the one guy. And we didn't even start. It was Madrill. So what they did is stuck us in the trunk of the Lincoln so they could drive us out. The referee drove us out, got down the road. He got back in the other car he was with, and we got out of the building, but they were going to kill us. And I said, Al, what are you doing, bro? He said, well, I told him to come. How was I supposed to know the cop was going to let him go? I said, well, evidently, we didn't know it either, but holy shit, you almost got us killed.
Oh, my God. Hey, man, we got to get ready to end the show.
Yeah, bro.
I got so many people sending in comments and stuff like that. And we are live on YouTube right now for anybody that's watching this right now. you've been listening to gold. You've been listening to gold from the great Ricky Santana, man. I knew he was going to spit some real gold tonight, but I didn't know he was going to spit it like this tonight, bro. You got my stuff. I think I broke one of my ribs laugh. I haven't laughed this hard, man. I don't get to talk to the boys very much, about yesterday very much, man. And tonight, this has been really, really refreshing, man. And that's what the fans like. And I'm so glad you was able to bring it to Straight Shooting with Stevie Ray tonight, because we're shooting straight with the legend. We're shooting straight with a guy that's done everything in this business, seen everything in this business, inducted and being honored at the Cauliflower Hall of Fame, man. You can't get any bigger than that. Can't get any bigger than that, better than that. And brother, to be honest, when me and my brother was inducted, I had more fun in Vegas than when I got inducted in New York. I had more fun out there with you guys that weekend than what I did in New York the year after, man. So man, I appreciate you coming on tonight, man. And what do you got coming up, man?
Well, I appreciate the invite, number one, and I wish you all the success in the world, because everybody can succeed.
Tell Cuban I'm looking for him.
Yeah, when I talk to him tomorrow, I told him I was coming on your show.
Okay.
He'll know tomorrow that he'll know what's going on, and I'll have him get in touch with you. But I got a lot of different things. The biggest main project that I'm working with, obviously, is, like I said, dealing with some nostalgia from the championship wrestling of Florida era. Don't have all those details laid out, but we'll give you the first scoop once it goes down.
Cool.
And I still continue to do a lot with WXW, which is for the Wild Samoans promotion. In there, he's produced a lot of different talent, from Batista to Billy Kidman to Gangrelli. He's produced some talent there. And he's all about, like you said, passing on the knowledge and moving it forward. So I'm glad to be a part of that. I'm glad I'm still somebody who still wants me to be around, and I'm happy that somebody still remembers.
Yeah.
And
I remember the suits. I remember the suits, man. That was my man. Come on with suits.
I won't be on here for you, right?
Hey, brother, I love it, brother. I love it, man.
Yeah. And anything that you need from me or from you, no problem. We're the boys. We're the tightest fraternity on the planet, and it'll always be that way.
Let me tell you something. I was looking forward to seeing you guys, for the WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I was coming down for that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's you guys backyard, man. And bro, this year has been tragic in that aspect, because wow, I missed out on so many different shows I had booked up. But hey, man, hopefully we can get back to it.
Absolutely.
Next year. Hopefully 2021 will be better than 2020 in that aspect. But just having you on the show and chopping it up, and the fans really love you, man, with all the comments and stuff like that going. They said they really love the stories and this, that, and the other. And he's our first person to go live on YouTube with your boy. And this is the way in this business, like Ricky talked about, this is the closest fraternity that I've never been a part of any fraternity, because I don't really like to belong to anything. But as far as wrestling goes, near and dear to my heart, let me do something that I love and dreamed about for years, and that's the wrestling business. These stories that Ricky and I were telling tonight, mainly him, we can't make them up. We cannot make them up. Ricky, I'm gonna tell you what I did. I talked to a friend of mine in LA, and I shot something by him that I want him to try to help me out with. What I want to do is, when people are telling stories, I want to do like a gimmick, a 30-minute show. And I don't know if you do it on television. I don't know if you do it on whatever.
Right.
Well, people, let's say you telling a story about going up the mountains of Virginia, getting stuck, and your boy taking the bump. You know what I'm saying? And the guy picking you up in the truck. You know what I'm saying? And all of these things. And we make it into a cartoon.
Oh.
As you telling the story. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
People can, you can't reenact it, but if you can draw it, you know what I'm saying? You can make it.
Yeah. You can make it animated.
Oh, my God. Would that be cool?
Oh.
Would that be cool? Oh, my God.
Awesome. Next time, come on, I got a story. I'll let Cube say it too, but it was a story about him when we were in the Northwest and him going.
I know you got a million more. But I'm just saying, I do that because I got so many professional wrestlers that we're not in the business anymore at the aspect of at the level of what we were years ago. But still, we're around the business very much. But that if we could get something like that going, man, what a payday would that be for some of these stories and let fans see them from another aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because we're talking to each other and we're both from the same business. I'm not some Mark interviewing you.
Yeah.
So when you tell a story, I relate.
Yeah.
I might not have been there.
But you can relate.
Oh, you
100%.
did? So now we got something going. We got a rapport going. Whereas, Mr. Santana, can you tell us about, when you were doing your days in Georgia and the Mid-South and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you're not going to have the same rapport with that guy as someone from the same business. Neither am I.
Right.
Like, if you was interviewing me, it's totally different. I'm chopping it up with someone that I know. And even if we didn't know each other, I know of you and you know of me.
Right.
That's a certain respect right there.
Yeah, that's why you cracked up on Black Bart. Because if you knew Bart, you knew that was his favorite line. Dadgummit, you some we gonna kill me. You lying some bitch. That was Bart, man. God love him.
Oh, but hey, man, I appreciate you being on. Appreciate you coming on. Hey, letting the fans hear some of the stories, doing our thing, chopping it up with your boy on the World's Most Dangerous Podcast. And hey, man, tell Cube I'm looking for you, and I got to get both of you guys back on the show together, and we're going to really lay it down. Gotcha, man. We're going to straight shoot from the hip, baby. Oh, I can't wait. This is one of my favorite shows of all. This might be my favorite show I ever done. I'm serious. Appreciate everything, man. We got to get out of here. But hey, man, I'll be getting back with you. Appreciate you coming on. Thanks a lot. All right, man. Be good, bro. All right, dog. Hey, guys, that's the great Ricky Santana, man. He just graced us with his presence. Hey, if you guys didn't get anything out of that, I don't know what to tell you. Now, let's put a little music on. We're going to go out with a little Prince. And tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, like I was telling everybody, Justin Hawk Bradshaw, JBL. You guys know him under those names. I know him under those names. John Layfield. He will be on the show tomorrow night. We had the great Ricky Santana tonight. Got former WWE champion John Layfield on tomorrow night. Next week, I got a couple of doozies. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. But that's the way the old mop flops. But hey, my name is Stevie Ray, and I'm signing out for the great Ricky Santana. And I see all of you guys tomorrow night. Appreciate it. Thank you. And I am out.